So my apprentice has started to learn to ride a bike finally. Taking her a bit long, but it means I need to pull my bike out of mothballs, which is in here and has not been ridden in a while and probably needs some work and some new tubes, probably some air and a good clean, possibly a new chain. Looks like the shockers are a little on the rusty side too. This could be a little bit of work. Yeah, there's a bit I got to do. Before I start, I can't backpedal it. There's something jammed in this. Probably some vines or something. I have to clear all that out. Both tyres are dead flat. Now I did find there is a spare tube in here. I need to find my little mini battery compressor at some point too. But it just generally needs an all-round clean. The shockers do push in. They're a little rusted, a bit of sandpaper, I guess. It might knock some of the chrome off, but I mean, at this point, really, who cares? It's pretty much gone anyway. The lighting system, I'm going to decommission that. That's one I refurbed. I don't know where the battery pack is. It's probably long gone. The bell still works. That's, I guess, a bonus. Still got the heavy-duty cranks on it, which is nice. My old magnetic pack rack's on there. So most of that works. Alright, we've got it out. I've had the air compressor on it. Sprayed a bit of air over it. I'm noticing these have seen better days. These will probably need lubricating. There's a bunch of stuff on here I don't need. There's a bunch of this stuff tangled up in crap too. How did this get in here? And what even is all this? Alright, so we're going to pull a lot of this stuff out. Clean it up. I'm going to oil the chain up. Then we'll go up the street and see if the bike guys can put some new tubes in it for me. Now, I've got the 8-wheel drive here. I'm going to use some of the chain oil I use on that stuff. Now, I really should just actually clean everything and whatnot and give this a good run. But, you know what? We just need to get it moving first. We may look into a new chain and stuff. I'm going to need 2 hands for this, so I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we've got the main assembly working and the freewheeling hub going. There's a bit of junk in here and that derailleur is not quite right there. It will need some adjustment. And probably Dawn just needs to move through stuff, which can't really happen until I've got the tyres done up.
2 hours later.
Alright, so she's back from the bike shop. $50. He whacked a new pair of tubes in. He even put my little bloody LED caps on that I said to throw out because they're useless. I'll put a standard set of caps on them soon enough anyway. There is a lot to do on this. It's previously had a bike speedo, so there's a little magnet sensor. I'm going to rip that off. There is the little light here that runs on a lithium pack that is dead flat and damaged and I have no idea where the charger is. That will get ripped off. There are all the little LED lights that are all over the forks, all daisy chain down here. They might stay. They're all 12 volt. I can make a lead acid battery in the back, or I might stick one of my Ryobi batteries on it and do that. There's a fancy little red wire that goes everywhere too. I don't know what that's for. I'm going to strip a lot of that stuff off, fix a few things up. Probably going to have to pull the forks off, redo the bearings in there and sand up some stuff. There's a lot to do. But I did a quick little lap, rode around. It rides pretty much like it used to. I've just got to get in and grease a bunch of stuff in the drivetrain. I've got to run all the derailleurs through their full movement and make sure they work properly. Anyway, I did find myself a helmet because my apprentice has stolen mine. But she needs a helmet, so well worth it. So this is my helmet. About the only one in town I could find that fit me. But it looks alright. And this stupid thing up the front here, I don't know what that's for, but anyway, a lot flimsier than my old bright orange stack hat with a polycarbonate shell and the foam inside, but still, it's a helmet and they are legally required here too, so either way, I think I'll be happy with this. Alright, so it's the next day. We're around the messy side of the house. My energy has been basically nil, having a bit of a hard time, so I'm just looking at some basics. I noticed when we've got it, this wire here is rubbing against the wheels. I'm thinking that's the feed wire to these lights. So I might zip tie that up out of the way. These are going to need a bit of a polish up. my shocker pressure adjustment. These need a bit of a polish. They've yellowed a bit. It didn't look like this the last time I looked at it, but it's probably been nearly a decade since I have. So I've just got to give it a look over. I'm concerned about the grease in all the bearings and stuff. That's going to take a while for me to do. I probably do need to make sure the brakes had a bit of a run in and that all this stuff works. Anyway, zip tie time. I've got some right here. Now, I wonder if my tail light is still functional. Not surprising if it isn't. I bet you the batteries are probably knackered. Has it got a release clip here? I think it does. I think this slides out. I think like that. I'll have to do this two-handed. Now, these sort of things are a legal mandate here. So we do need to check it. This was not an expensive unit when I got it. I dare say the batteries will be knackered. Yep, definitely look at the way that one is. Fortunately, they haven't leaked, which is doing surprisingly well for the time that they've been in there. So I'll discard them. Let's put some new batteries in. Grab a couple of newies. One of these things is not like the other. There we go. Might be a little bit of acid hanging around in there by the looks, but alright, that's good. Now, so it appears to work. Why is our button not working? That just comes straight on. So that works alright, but I want to investigate why the button's not working. That could be where the acid's gone. So, we will investigate with a screwdriver. Yeah, I found where the acid went. It's kind of crusty on the bottom here. That's the switch contacts there. So let's get some IPA and some contact cleaner and give this a scrub up and see if it works. Otherwise, we might just buy another one. Alright, so I gave it a clean up, but crucially, if I can find a pointer here, the center track in here lifted up. It had fallen off and it's stuck to the back of this. I did try and glue it back down. What are you doing, autofocus? Stay there, autofocus. So, crucially, I did try and glue this track back down, but ultimately it came back up again and ripped off. We have visitors at the moment, so I'm just going to buy another one. These things are like a couple of bucks. Just order a new one in. Now, I need to give some thought to the front lights. Now, I've got this in here that was mounted on, although a bit weirdly with this rubber band thingy. This ran off 4 18650s in a pack. So I think there's a nominal of 14.4 volts. These are all 12 volts. And I used to run those off a lead acid battery on the end of this. And then we've got this cable for that other light with this pack here. This pack's like shot. It's just, I don't even know where the charger is for that. Tempted to put my little gel cell battery back in here. Just run everything off 12 volts. I think that would run okay. On the other hand, I could probably use a little step-up converter. I might be able to find a 12-volt lithium pack to go in here. But a little gel cell battery doesn't really matter too much. It fits on the back of this nicely. Although, feeling how that vibrates, I may need to do something about that too. Work that out later on. Got lots to figure out. Anyway, that's probably not going to be much of an option. Maybe I come out here and see if I can make that work. Alright, well I've got these two dusty things that are surplus to requirement. That has tape over the terminals. That might be a good one. Let's check them all. Okay, let's check our first one here. Our first one is 2.6 volts. That is scrap. That will not work at all for the intended purpose. So we can get into U here maybe. Can we get under the tape? So I flash the voltage. 12 point something volts. 12.3 volts. Okay, that one might be good. Okay, we got some terminals here. We're going to clip these on. I have a test lead here. Now I can only assume that this lead's going to be center positive. Although crazy things have happened. Oh, these are the wrong connectors anyway. Alright. So what we might do first, I'll go back inside, find the right connector. Let's try this. I hope I've used that for negative. Let's try. I'll be looking up the front here. Okay, let's clip this on. Let's have a look up the front. Okay, so the front lights seem to work quite well. These are like waterproof lights. They do get you seen at night, which is good. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, found myself another test lead. This should be the right one to fit in here. Okay, now, yes, that is negative. Okay, I hope it's center positive, I really do. I did fix this thing ages ago. I have ordered another headlight in too, just in case. Let's do this. So that gives it 12 volts. Well, we've got a green light on the back. Will this work at 12? It will work at 12. Okay, I've been carrying lithium batteries around for nothing. Okay, we're back in business. We can run it all off the same light or the same battery. That'll be good. Right, a couple of hours later, we have this funny looking loom. We have a switch, 2 outputs, and an inline fuse, some spade terminals and a battery. That should work for now. Right, I still have to put a connector on this. Might do that tomorrow. But for now, can we plug that in? And can we turn on? I believe it's already on. We have good light. And I think we're pushing the hold to turn off. Okay, and we turn that off. Power off. Right, I will put a connector on tomorrow to plug into that. I was going to put a voltmeter on, but I don't think I really need it. Maybe I can keep a small one that I can plug in there if I want to test. Alright, so I got a bit impatient and I found my portable soldering iron and a spare connector here. There we go, plugs on. Okay, we should. Is this going to short out if we put it in? No, it shouldn't. Alright. There we go. Should be able to plug a U in there. Let's see if we have lights. What we do, sort of. They flicker a bit. Something's not quite right with the connection. So you can see here they flicker on and off a bit. I'll check my connections. Alright, the lights on the front work. And that works as well. Alright, people aren't going to miss me. Should be alright. Turn off, please. There we go. Alright, that's good. We're working. Alright, we're tucked in the side here. We can turn you on. Lights come on. Green light. We're doing pretty well. We've got lots of light up the front. Okay, I'm happy. We'll get another battery powered one to go into the back of that. And then I'll give things a bit of a clean up tomorrow.
The next morning.
Right, so it's test run time. My apprentice is going to bring her bike around and we're going to go for a bit of a ride together. Going to run it through all the gears, see how she goes, see what else needs fixing along the way. And hopefully it'll be okay. We'll get our first aid kit held on with a magnet onto my magnetic pack rack. And yeah, we'll see what happens next. Finally getting the hang of things. Okay, so the bike is working very well. We've taken it for a test run. All the gears operate normally. There is going to be a lot more work in disassembling it, re-greasing bearings and doing the forks and all that sort of stuff. That's not going to get done in this video. This is just a basic getting my bike back up and running, learning that I can still ride a bike after a decade of not doing it, and having had recent treatment for multiple sclerosis. For me, that's the biggest victory. I can get out on a bike again, and it's something I thought I wasn't going to be able to do again. So victory in that regard. The bike still works. If you're interested, get in the comments, have a chat to me. I'll do some more about bikes if I can. But for now, that's all there is, and I hope it was fun. We'll talk to you in the next video.